Welcome to a quick tutorial on how to retouch skin using Adobe Photoshop. This method I'll be showing you is the frequency separation method, and it's my favorite way to retouch skin, and this is because it retains all of the quality of your image while giving you perfectly flawless skin. You can use this method of retouching on any photo that features a person, model photo, product photo, etc. So let's get into the tutorial. Alright, to start off we're going to go up to File and Open, and we're going to open up our photo for the day. Alright, once we have that open, we're going to duplicate this twice. So right click on background and duplicate layer, press OK, right click on background copy and duplicate layer. There you go. Now we're going to deselect this layer, so there's an eye right next to that layer. We're going to take that off, and then we're going to go down to the background copy. Now we're going to go up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian blur, and this is going to depend on the quality and size of the image, on how much your radius is. For this example, we're going to have the radius set at 14.1, and this is because you can see the blending of the colors or shades right here. When we have it a little bit less, the colors don't blend in quite very well, and when we have it too much, then it all blends together and we lose all of our potential detail. So 14.1 for this image is going to be the optimal amount, and I'm going to press OK. Now I'm going to go back up to background layer, copy 2, and have the eye come back on. So now this layer is active again, and we're going to go up to Image, Apply Image, and instead of Merge, we're going to go background copy, or the second layer in this trio right here. It's always the second layer. Now we're going to make sure that blending is on Add. Here's a bunch of different lay styles, but the one you're looking for is Add. The scale is number 2, and then we're going to invert. So your numbers should look exactly the same for every single image you're retouching. It will always be the exact same. And your image is going to look gray like this. If you can see the detail of the person's face or the model's face, you know that you've done this correctly. When this looks exactly the same as what's on my screen, you're going to click OK. Now you're going to go down to Layers and change the style. So instead of normal, we're changing the blending mode to linear light. So now it's going to look like nothing has happened to this layer, and that's exactly how you want it. The first step in retouching skin is removing all of the blemishes. So we're going to zoom in on our model's face. We're going to go over to our toolbar. My favorite is the patch tool, but you can essentially use the healing brush, spot healing brush, but I think that the patch tool does the best job for this. So once you've selected your patch tool, we're going to make sure that we're on our background copy 2 layer, or the top layer in this trio, and we're going to circle all of the different blemishes. And we're going to sample somewhere close to that blemish, so that way the skin tone or texture is identical, and we're going to keep going around the face, removing all of these blemishes. Now you're going to notice the color isn't going to be corrected. That's because that's on the second layer. We'll get to that in the second part of this retouching process. We're just going to continue this process. Now this is a detailed process of editing, so it is a little time consuming, but that's how you get the best results, by spending more time on your product photos or your model photos. Okay, once you are happy with removing all of the abnormalities in the skin, you're going to go down to the background layer, copy, and the second layer in the trio, and make sure that that is activated. You're going to go over to your toolbar and select your stamp tool. You're going to right click on the canvas and make sure that your hardness is set to 0% and that you're using a soft brush. Once that's been selected, you're going to change the opacity up here to around 15 to 20%. I like to keep it closer to 15. It gives you more control. Now we're going to zoom into the different blemishes, have your stamp tool selected, and making sure that we're on the second layer in the trio, we're going to select by holding Option and clicking right next to the red blemish. So now we are sampling the color, not the texture, the color from that area. Once we're happy with removing most of the redness, we're going to go over to our toolbar again, selecting our lasso tool, and we're going to draw in big areas that we want to even out the tone even further. So this whole forehead has been selected. We're going to right click, feather, and feather between 30 and 50. My happy place is 40, so I'm going to click OK. Remember, this is on the second layer in your trio because this has to do with the tones of the image. So when you've feathered your lasso selection, we're going to go up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. We're going to see how it looks when it's blurring. Obviously this is too much. We've gotten a lot of dark casting from the hair. Around 33 is what I'm going to do for this selection and press OK. And we're just gonna keep selecting different shapes around the face that have similar tone. Feather, blur, Gaussian blur, and we're gonna keep doing that until everything is evened out. Okay, we're just adding a few final touches to the Gaussian blur on the second layer, and that's your final. As you can see, the final product is really well done. This is the before. As you can see, a lot of the under eyes, lighting wasn't very even. Obviously all of these blemishes, and the after. So we have a nice soft finish. Thanks so much for watching this quick tutorial on how to retouch skin using Adobe Photoshop. If you're a business owner that's looking for someone to retouch your photos for you, check the link in the bio for Clipping Path Studio's photo retouching services.